Everybody, welcome to the Plat and welcome to Etheria Restart. Now today we're going to talk about the real game, the real reason to play, and that is min-maxing the shop. So we're going to run through the shop really quick. I have done basically a few different breakdowns of what I think you should buy in what order depending on your current budget. This is going from $15. I'm basically going to do 4 different brackets: $15 budget, $25 budget, $55 budget, and $105 budget. And that's basically going to be like, all right, these are the good breakpoints. If you're going to spend over $105 right away, then I don't really think it matters what you buy. You just are going to buy almost anything anyway, I assume. So this is going to be just kind of how to get efficiently good use out of your money if you were intending to spend money. Really quick, I'm not going to be talking about the past during this. I do think that this is likely worth the purchase. However, I don't remember how much it was. I bought it in the beta like a month ago, and then when the game launched, I had a ticket for it, and it didn't show me the price of it. So I actually don't know what the final amount of this is. However, this is likely a very good way to spend money, but I didn't include it into my budgeting options because I just didn't have the price of it on hand. First, we're going to go with the $15. We'll work our way up. Well, it's going to be in every single one are going to be the same first 3 items. The first item is the monthly supply card. So this is $5 a month, gives you 300 immediately, and then 100 gems every day. So you're getting a total of 3,300 gems for $5. But it also gives you 10% more of these Etheria coins, and you will need an unbelievably large amount of these, like millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions. Probably it'll be a money sink for probably ever. And it gives you energy cap. So these are, I wouldn't get it specifically for these, but it is a very nice bonus. But you are getting 3,300 Hydra crystals, which is 33 summons. So for $5, you're getting effectively 33 summons on the normal purple banners, which we'll talk about more in a second. I think it's funny that it has a tap to pay card on here, but yeah, so this is going to be the best value that you can get in the long run, but you have to know yourself. If you're not going to log in and get these rewards all the time, then this might not be the best one for you, but assuming that you're playing the game, this is going to be number 1. Now, the very beginning here, I'm actually going to compliment the game because they've done a good job. A lot of what I'm going to recommend is going to be in these beginner packs. They seem to actually be priced pretty well for what you're getting with resources you might want to get. I don't love all of them. Like, I don't really love the quantum pack that much myself, but after you buy the monthly supply card, if you're on a $15 budget, I would get the beginner pack Anima. For $1, you're getting 10 summons. This is pretty obvious. The other things you're getting here are Animus experience. This is not 0, but this is worth, like, I would say maybe a penny. This is not worth much. The supply packs, 30 of these, this is a bit better than the other stuff. It'll just save you a little bit of energy, but it's really, these aren't much, right? These are the extras. You're really spending $1 to get the 10 summons, which is a great deal. That's about 90% off, right? Because I think every summon's normally roughly $1. It might even be a little bit better than that. But this is number 1. Number 2, once you hit level 10, you're going to want to come back to the shop. So I don't necessarily recommend coming back like later, like for the level 25 stuff. Although the level 25 is particularly kind of nice. You should at least wait till level 10 and buy this. For, again, it's $1 and you are going to get a multi, which is a very good rate. You are getting 100,000 of these coins. I mean, that is not very much. I mean, I have 1 million and I could spend it in a couple seconds. This is like 4 button presses already on day 2 of the game. This is not that much. The energy, this is kind of nice. This is 100 energy, and this is worth, if you're going to do it once a day, I believe it's 60, and then the other 9 are like 100. So this is basically 100 gems, but you have to use it on energy. But overall, this is pretty good. This is going to be the main way your main gem sink for a lot of players is probably going to be energy, right? Some players are going to save up for pulls, but the players that are spending on energy are going to end up pulling ahead for the most part, I think. But this is number 2. And then with your last $7 or so, I would say get the beginner pack enhanced. It's just the next step. But again, you can already tell you're getting less value, right? Instead of $1 for 10, which is by far the best value, you're still spending $5 to get 10 summons, and you're getting this one summon that is guaranteed to be an SR or SSR. I don't remember exactly how this one works, but typically what this means is that if you have a 1% chance to get an SSR normally, it's still a 1% chance on this, but you now have a 0% chance of, rares, and you have like a 99% chance of an SR. So this is usually an a SR ticket, a purple, which is, it's not very good, but maybe it is a better SSR rate. Overall, I don't value this super high over a purple. I think this is roughly the same value as one purple. Maybe it's worth like 3 purples, something like that. But yeah, this is going to be the next one. And then you have like $1 left over. I would just save it, save it up for the next monthly card, and then, or buy the double crystals, because you can use these crystals for energy, which again, I would do the double crystals specifically, because then you get an energy refresh, or maybe you could save it for if they come out with a $1 weekly pack. Now, with a $25 budget, I actually am going to pretty much recommend the exact same things. I am going to include the beginner pack Apex in this. So these are where the packs get a little more interesting in terms of the premiumness. So there's purple and there's orange. Now, if you want to spend gems to get orange discs, you actually can't directly on the normal banner. If you come over to the banner and I want to summon here, I can't just buy these like I can on here. I can click this and it'll be like, oh, do you want to purchase? Yes. But on this one, you actually can't. So you have to buy these in the shop. However, if there's a limited event, it seems like it will allow you to buy them, but they are triple the cost. They are 300 each instead of 100. So they are triple the price. So when you see 10 of these, this is worth potentially, I would just say it's worth 3 times as much as the purple ones, as long as you want to pull on the light dark banner. The game charges 3 times as much. You could argue that maybe it's a little bit more than 3 times, because you can't, if there's no banner, you can't buy them at all without cash. But for 15 bucks, this could read as an equivalent of 40 purple pulls, right? And that is a pretty darn good, deal as far as gacha games go. As for this other stuff, I mean, these are kind of nice to have. It'll help you ascend a little bit faster, but it's not worth, you would never spend 15 bucks for this. You would never spend 15 bucks for this, right? It's like, okay. So you're getting a multi and then a kind of a premium multi in a sense, which I think is pretty good. Now, you also could drop at this price point the enhanced level of this if you don't really want that multi or this, because I don't value this super high. And instead just go for the 600 crystals and get 6 refreshes as well. I think that's going to kind of depend on you on your personal level. And we're not going to really spend much time in the weekly packs. They're almost all bad, or for just whales in general. I would say everything here is pretty whale specific. Now, once you're hitting the $55 mark, this is actually where I am going to drop the beginner pack enhanced. Everything else is going to stay the same so far. The level 10 pack, the beginner pack, the monthly card, and the beginner Apex pack. And what I'm going to pick up instead is the beginner pack lattice. Now, this is not the way to get the single most amount of pulls in the game. If you want to just get as many pulls as possible, then you are probably going to not get this and instead get beginner pack enhanced, the level 15 pack, the level 25 pack, and the and like this here, the extreme phase supply protocol, right? That's 16, let's just say 15, 20, 25, 30. So you can get that instead, and then you will be walking away with about 20 more summons, 10 purple, 10 orange, which is definitely better for some players if you really, really feel like you need the pulls and you have no selection. But I'm telling you, these are pretty hard to come by naturally. And if you look at the weekly pack, if you want to buy one, right, 30 bucks, you don't even get any pulls with it, right? It's 30 bucks once a month to buy one. So the fact that you can get one for 30 bucks, but you also get 20 summons, and you are getting, I mean, one, these are pretty good. This box is pretty good for saving you energy, but these are also pretty valuable as well. You need a bunch of these to get up to 6 stars. You're going to need an insane amount of these, and they are a premium. Same with these. So these are resources that I actually do value, and you still are getting pulls. So this is why I'm going to pick this up instead. I value this and this over just a few extra multis, but again, different players are going to have different priorities. So when we get to the $105 thing, I think you got to kind of decide what kind of player you are. Do you want to be the kind of player that just is collecting as many units as possible, or do you want to extend, or sorry, do you want to rapidly develop your account? So pretty much everything is going to be the same at the beginning. The supply card, the beginner pack Apex, and I'm taking the beginner pack Lattice. And then there's kind of two options here. If you want to go for the most pulls possible, you're going to want to spend your your remaining $50 basically on this kind of stuff right here, right? The extreme phase pass, you're getting 10 pulls here. The level 15 pass, you're getting 10 pulls here. The level 25 pass, you're getting 10 pulls here. The beginner pack enhanced, you're getting 10 pulls there. And then you can come in here and still get a bunch of crystals left over. So that will get you the most pulls possible. I do kind of like the promotion protocol as well, but I don't know. I mean, once you see this one, like, you could buy both of these for cheaper than that one, and you're not getting the red thing, which is kind of nice, but you're getting more pulls for $5 less, basically. But besides that, another thing that I think, if you want the most rapid account progression, you might just want to come here and get the 50.99 3280 crystals with the doubling on it, right? So you're getting actually 6,400 crystals. That is going to be 64 refreshes. So it could be a full week of full refreshes. You could do just the 60 a day. You could do 5 a day for a couple weeks. This will allow you to progress your account much, much faster, because your account is going to level up faster. You're going to get more gear faster, level up all of your whatever they're called, the animas, way faster. This will help you progress your account the fastest. However, you are sacrificing pulls when you spend these gems on energy. So it really kind of comes down to you as a player and what you want. If you want to just have the most amount of units possible, that's fine. If you don't really care about what units you get, you're just spending your free pulls, you're happy with what you get, and you just want to progress as far into the game as you can, as fast as you can, and then start stockpiling gems for maybe future units, then I would recommend getting that. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how I would navigate the shop. I would stay away from the weekly packs. This seems to be all whale stuff. No pulls in here. 10 bucks for, 11 bucks for some shit. 5 bucks for some shit. 10 bucks for, this is not necessarily shit, but it's a little bit of shit. I don't know the value of these yet because I'm not level 35. 30 bucks for a 10 pull is like on rate for these, but it's like kind of shit. This 30 bucks for one of these, kind of shit. The 5,000 for, like, if it wasn't 51 bucks, I'd say it's all right, but it's kind of shit. So these aren't going to be that bad. I would probably pick these up. Anyway, guys, that's all for this one. Much love, Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip flops. Bye.